Alright, hey everybody. Today, I'm gonna be honest, this isn't gonna be a positive video. There's news coming out of the entire Bakhmut front, so let's just dissect it right now. The red on this map are the Russian claims right now, and they claim that they've advanced all the way up to Rozdolivka and kherson. This is helped by the fact that the Ukrainian commander-in-chief says that supply to Soledar is impossible because they have fire control of the road to Soledar. That is very unfortunate, but I think that the extent of Russian control isn't as far as they claim for it to be. I'd say the line is probably something more similar to this, which is still really bad. There's been rumors that the Ukrainians have been ordered to withdraw from Soledar. However, I'm not sure if that's true or not. The Ukrainians did a moderate counterattack in the south of the city and pushed them back a little bit, but fighting has been reported in the orange area. Ukraine's main positions are in the salt mine in the south, the outskirts in the oh my god, I can't talk today. The outskirts in the east, and some buildings up north. Russia took a risky measure and began storming these at all costs, because it seems like they were given an order to take the city. They've been attacking it from all sides, trying to go through the fortification points, however, that part wasn't working. However, Soledar does have a lot of supplies in it, which is something that the commander-in-chief mentioned. Some people are acting like Soledar is about to fall in 24 hours, but I think that will only happen if one of three things happen. The first one is if the order to retreat was actually real, then they are going to retreat. The other thing I can see is if Russia actually does roll up to kherson and Rozdolivka. This would effectively envelop the entire settlement and they'd have to retreat. The other thing that I can see is if they're trying to hold the position for a prolonged period of time, but they can't supply the settlement because of the fire control over the road. They've already said that the supply is impossible, so it'll be unlikely that Soledar is able to hold unless a big counterattack happens up north in the area by Yakovlivka. Heading south, it gets a bit confusing. Russian sources say they have control of Krasnohora and Peroskovivka. However, these are likely false. We'll have to wait and see, but I really think that this isn't true. There's no evidence or anything, and a lot of other sources are saying that these are probably false as well. Another one that would be bad is people are saying that Podhorodne fell, and there's more evidence to back this one up. Ukrainian sources have even been saying that an order to retreat was given here. I'm still not entirely sure about it, but we're gonna have to see. You can see all the success that's going on right now. It shows you how important every settlement on the line is, because it happened from one settlement falling. Let me show you what I mean by that. Alright, I love the program I use, but sometimes, like, when you select everything, you can't just drag it all into one folder. It does it one at a time. I hate this so much. You can see that when the Russians took over Yakovlivka, what is going on? When the Russians took over Yakovlivka, it allowed them to push up into the fields to the north, which put them in a position where they could flank Soledar from this side, which forced the Ukrainians to retreat from the southern part of Soledar. And once they'd retreated from there, Bakhmutske was also enveloped, so they had to retreat from there as well. And then from there, the Russians were able to widen the area where they could attack, and could eventually take over Podhorodne. So you see how the fall of one settlement can lead to a big collapse in the front line. This is kind of what's going on with Kreminna, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in a second. But yeah, that's basically what's going on up north. It's also been basically confirmed that Russia has taken control of some residential areas in Bakhmut. I don't really understand why Russia would push in here. They're probably just going to get flanked from crossfire from the north and south. This isn't an area that you want to take with frontal assaults, and it seems like Russia's whole strategy has been about enveloping it, considering their attacks on Krasnohora and everything. This is one of the main arguments for people who say, and an interesting theory that we should consider, it's that after the defense at Soledar broke, Russia is throwing a last wave of everything they have at Bakhmut, and if Ukraine is able to successfully hold off this wave, the advances will stall and Ukraine may be able to counterattack stuff. I'm not sure if I entirely believe that myself, but it could definitely be a thing, because we've seen similar things like that happen in Obitne, where Russia really ups the intensity, but when it seems like they may be at a breaking point, the Ukrainians set up a new defense line and they have to the offensives die back down. But right now, that's what we got going on. If Russia is able to take over Podhorodne from the north, they'll be able to attack the northern defense line for the first time. And overall, this area isn't looking very good. New reinforcements have been sent to the Soledar area, and it's likely that they'll start taking effect probably in tomorrow or the next day. So hopefully they're able to counterattack up north near Yakovlivka, and if they do that, the northern part of Soledar will hold because they'll regain supply. Hopefully the Russian claims are false, because if Podhorodne is still standing, The main problem is just Soledar, and that reduces a lot of the stress on the front. But yeah, we could see many things happen. We could see a potential counterattack that pushes it back. We could see the line stabilize around here with the main battleground being Soledar, or we could potentially see a withdrawal up to the Bakhmutovka river in the north. Hopefully it doesn't have to come to that, but we'll see. This is also interesting because Ukraine has gained some land near Kreminna, and it seems like they're building up a big force here to punch through and try to take out the areas in the North Luhansk Oblast and lead to a collapse there. Both sides are preparing to do big assaults, and it's really, this week is going to be pretty decisive, I'd say. The rest of this week, like next Sunday, whatever this is going to be a determining week for the war. If Ukraine is able to stop the assaults in Bakhmut, that would be good. However, we may see that pincer movement that Russia's been talking about for 7 months or whatever. I'm sorry if this wasn't the news you wanted to hear, but sometimes you just gotta hear what's actually going on. And don't worry, I'm not like switching sides or anything. Sometimes you just gotta say it how it is. And that's what we got today. Best of luck to all the defenders defending this area, and hopefully it all turns out alright. See you guys later. Hey everybody, thank you to my channel members, Gene Helfrich, Steve Grun, Butler Esque, David Appel, Delo Matatas, Phil Martin, Robert Jenkins, Richard Quadri, Focus Pocus 100, Gaz B, Javette Witter, Russell Whiskey, Evie Fong, Evan Shin, Rye Jones, Mr. Walkman, Chasbex, Ashley C137, Joel Raindow, Mike Q, Joe Sauer, PG, JG Bashlow, Maxim Zavoshinsky, Jane Dungu, and Matthew Barnes. I'm actually going to have to reorganize this page because of how many channel members we have now. I can't just keep making the font size smaller. I haven't had face cam in the past 2 videos because I bought a green screen, except they didn't send me the thing to prop it up. They just sent me like a green blanket. So I'm going to have to like drill hooks in my ceiling or something and hang it from there because I'm too lazy to go through with Amazon's terrible customer service. So yeah, we'll do that. I got actual lighting, so tomorrow will be a higher quality video and hopefully we have some nice stuff to talk about. See you guys later. Alright, hey, we got...